Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Jamie, for those of you that have not met me before, and I teach imagination yoga along with many other people. And so hopefully you're getting to see all sorts of wonderful imagination yoga classes around in your community. Today, I'm so excited to offer you one of my very favorite yoga adventures, and this one is called Imagine Yoga at the River. So I'd like to start to think about all of the different creatures that we see at the river. And I know there's so many different types of rivers around our planet, and so we're going to see lots of different types of creatures depending on where it is that we're from. The creatures that we're going to talk about today are the rivers that are in the Pacific Northwest, which is where I'm located. I live in the state of Oregon, and it is full with trees and water and birds and turtles, and it really is a magical place to be. And I've really been missing going outside and spending time at the river, and so I thought today would be a good opportunity to imagine it in our minds. So before we begin, what do we do every time? That's right, we bring our hands to our hearts and we take our 3 full yoga breaths. So join me, please. Very nice. 2 more. And last big one, let's turn our fingers into our paintbrushes. And I want us to paint the colors of the river that we are imagining around us. Would it be greens and blues, or perhaps it would be sparkles or rainbows? Really, it's up to you and your imagination. So dip your fingers into those colored paints and paint that around you. And bring your hands down and put one hand now on your heart. And I want you to take a moment to just check in with your heart and with yourself and see how it is that you're feeling today. How does your body feel? How does your mind feel? What feels really spacious and joyful? And what feels kind of sticky or stuck? And not really trying to change anything, just noticing the way that we're feeling right now and holding all sorts of beautiful, kind space for that feeling. And then open your eyes. Are you ready to begin our adventure to the river? So we've got to turn whatever room that we're in right now into our imaginative space. And so the best way to do that is in what we call mindful stillness. So again, one more time, please close your eyes and imagine that you're no longer in your living room or your bedroom or your kitchen or wherever you're practicing with me right now. I want you to imagine instead that where we are, there are no walls and no ceiling. And in fact, the sounds that we're hearing are the sounds of the river and the river life around it. So the birds and the water and the creatures and the wind, the fresh air. Take a breath in and out. And in this moment, I want you to imagine that what you're sitting on is the soil, the rich, beautiful, fertile Mother Earth soil, and connect in with that as you take another breath. And out. And then open your eyes and look around. Welcome to the river, everyone. We're going to begin our adventure today by warming up our bodies and getting ourselves nice and strong so that when it's time to row down this river, we're going to be ready. So we're going to start it off with what is called sun salutations. You've done them with Jessie before, so please join me in them this time. Come to the top of your yoga mat or wherever you are, hands to your side body, and lift your hands up. Grab your kindness at the top and bring your kindness in your mind and your heart and all the way through your whole body. Put your hands on either side of your feet and step back into what's called plank pose. And then lower yourself all the way to the ground. Open up your hearts. Downward facing top dog. Take a big breath here. Look between your hands, and we're going to either jump or step back to the top. And back up we go. Heads, hearts, bodies, jump back. Hold here in your plank pose. Lower down, open up, and downward facing dog. Take another big breath. Jump through, and then this time, let me put my hair in a ponytail. This time we're gonna speed it up a little bit. Are you ready to join me? So here we go. Hands coming up, 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 up. Got it. Heads, hearts, bodies, jump back. Lower down, open up, downward dog, take a breath. Jump through, and let's feel our hearts. Are we beginning to warm up a little bit? Can you feel your energy and your blood moving in your body? Let's do it again. Hands up, heads, hearts, bodies, and we jump back. Lower down, open up your hearts to each other. Hello, yoga friends. And downward facing dog, take another big breath. And then this time we jump through, but we sit all the way down onto the ground. And I'm gonna move you closer again, because this time we are going to get into our rowboats and begin our adventure down the river. So pick up one paddle, you got it? And pick up your next paddle and sit up nice and straight. So watch this, I'm not gonna bend my back like that. I'm gonna keep my back so straight and strong as I lean back and lift up 1 foot and maybe 2 feet. And here we go, friends. We, sing with me, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And look down at this water. It is not getting any slower, is it? In fact, it's getting much faster. So this time, friends, let's change our rowboat into a kayak boat, which is one of my favorite boats. And you can paddle through those big old waves and make it all the way to the waterfall. So lean yourself back, lift your feet up, grab your big long paddle, and here we go. We row and row and row your kayak boats. Look down. Here comes a big wave. Splash right into it. And then splash right into it. And one more time, splash right into it. And look down. We made our way through the big waves and to a bunch of still water where there are many turtles bathing their bodies in the sun. So everybody go ahead and sit on your heels like this. See how my hips are down on my heels? And then I'm gonna take my tummy and stick it onto my legs. And then rest your forehead forward. And we're imagining now we're inside of our turtle shell. So put your head all the way onto the ground. Rest your shoulders down, let your arms rest. And I'm gonna sit up, but you stay just where you are, turtles, inside of your shell. And take a big breath in. Big breath into your back. And out. And then it's time to come out and explore. Come out of your shells. So take one arm and reach it. And another arm and reach it. And very slowly bring your head out of your turtle shell. And you see how my feet are flat behind me and my hands are flat down, and I open up my big turtle heart and I look around. And then get back into your turtle shell. Hide your face. And then bring yourself forward, 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 you sweet little turtles, and look around. And then tuck your toes under and pop your turtle tails in the air, and imagine you're swimming under the water now, diving deeper and deeper and deeper down into the river water, the cool river water. And then walk your feet back towards your hands slowly and get back into our boats. Let's keep exploring, everyone. So here we go. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And stop. The next thing that we see is one of my favorite creatures at the river. It's a big old bullfrog, and bullfrogs are big, giant, fabulous frogs. So everyone, come all the way back and put your hands down like this. And on the count of 3, we're gonna jump up and say croak. 1, but first really imagine your body in your bullfrog body. 1, 2, 3, croak. 1, 2, 3, croak. Trying to get my feet off the phone. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, croak. Oh, almost. Okay, let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, but this time jump in the kayak boat. 1, 2, 3, croak. And back in the kayak boat, feet come up and we row, row, row your boats. Row, row, row your boats and freeze. The next river creature that we see is a tree. One of my favorite types of earth creatures are trees. So everyone, we're gonna start off as a little tiny small tree. So here's your seed, your wishing seed. And I want you to make a kind wish for the world right now, for all of the children. All children feel safe and supported and seen and heard. Let's all make that wish together and give a big kiss. And plant that wish into the soil. And know if you are a child, you're receiving that wish and you're giving that wish. So pat, pat, pat it into the soil. Bring your hands to your hearts. And we're gonna begin to grow up, up, up. Look at how tall my tree has gotten. You can't even see the top of it. And we grow all the way to the top. And I'm gonna move you so you can see. So yoga friends, I want you to root your feet really deep into this beautiful river soil and then grow up high towards the sun. And then perhaps, friends, balance on one foot. And if that feels pretty steady, put it on the inside of your leg, not on your knee, below your knee, and take a breath. Bring your hands back to your hearts and put one foot, that opposite foot down, and really dig that foot into the soil. And imagine that root is going far and wide, enjoying all of this river soil. So hands back to the heart, bring one foot up, and begin to grow your river tree back up towards the sun and take another big breath. But this next breath, let's imagine that it's the sound of the wind. Here we go. And again, make more wind. And then both feet come down and we make our way all the way into our boat pose. This time we're gonna row, row, row our boats. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And freeze, everybody. Take your binoculars out because this is an interesting, cool, exciting river creature to see. There is something called a great blue heron, and they look a lot like pterodactyls to me. They don't have scales, but their faces look like dinosaur faces with wings, and they balance sometimes on one foot. So everyone, please come up to standing. And I want you to imagine this enormous blue-gray colored bird with long wings and feathers, so paint those on. And then flap your wings out to the side. Bend your knees a little bit, and then balance on one foot and show me your great blue heron as it balances and stretches the wings. And take a breath. You could even flap your wings back. You could move them however you choose. And come back to standing, hands back to your heart as you find your balance on your other foot. So stick that blue heron, that great blue heron foot right onto the river soil. And then flap out your wings. You could even keep flapping them as you begin to balance on one foot and you fly. And you flap, and you flap, and you flap. And hold your pose. Take a breath. If you've fallen out of it, what do? You get right back into it and you try again. And you come back up to standing, hands to your hearts. Good job, bodies. Thank you for balancing. So now coming back in to your boat pose. And here we go. Should we do a kayak boat or a rowboat? How about you decide, whichever one you want to do. I think I'm going to do a kayak boat. So I got my long bow here, my one big paddle. I lean back and I keep my body very strong as I dig into those big waves to make myself go further down the river to explore more creatures. And row, and we row, and we row, and we freeze, and we look down. Here is a whole school of river fish. So everyone, come into your plank pose, which is your very strong body here. So see, I got my hands nice and wide, and I got my arms really strong, and I've got my tippy toes behind me, and my whole body is engaged and supporting me. So hold it here, and take a big breath, and notice where you feel this in your body. And you remember how we talk about we can do hard things? This is one of those hard things. So keep holding it, and remind your mind and your body, we can do hard things. And what does this hard thing help us do? Become stronger. So everybody, if you are interested to bring your knees down now, bring them down. If you want to try to come all the way down, keep your elbows tucked in and come all the way into the water. And imagine now that you are a river fish. So stick your feet together behind you, and that becomes your fishtail, right? And then your little fish flippers to the side, and rest your forehead on the ground just for a moment. And breathe. And then, little fish, wake up and open up your hearts, get your flippers out to the side, and swim and say, little kissy face fish, and good night, fish. Rest your head. Maybe rest on one ear. Wake up, fish, and we swim, and we swim, and we swim all the way over to the edge of the river where we see our good friend, the river snail. So put your hands under your shoulders, let your feet relax down, and push yourself back into your child's pose, but imagining that we're becoming snails. So let your hands rest behind you and your forehead rests down on your yoga mat, and hold it here in your snail pose, your child's pose. And again, just as we began this adventure as a turtle, I want you to imagine now you're a snail and breathe deep into your shell, deep into your back. 2 more breaths, just like that. If your body starts to feel wiggly, just say, not right now, body. Right now I'm finding stillness. And then very slowly roll yourself back up, up, up. And look at where we've arrived, friends. We've arrived at Relaxation Island. That's where we were headed to. So please come onto your backs and rest yourself in what is called Savasana, which is just the pose that we lay and we go like this. We melt as many of our muscles as we can into the ground. So melt your feet and melt your legs, melt your hips and your tummy, your back. Melt your hands and your arms and your shoulders, your chest, your neck, your face, your eyes, and lastly, your mind. And I'm going to come to seated, but you stay just where you are. And let your whole body continue to melt into Mother Earth. And see if maybe even if you can feel the vibration of Mother Earth below you. Can you feel her heartbeat? And if you cannot, can you imagine you can? And breathe. And if this feels nice to stay here in your Shavasana, please stay here for as long as you want. If you want to begin to move your body again, wiggle your toes and your fingers And stretch your hands above your head. Reach, reach, reach them. And roll onto one side. And push yourself all the way up to seated, where we find ourselves in crisscross, applesauce, easy pose, whatever we want to call it. We find ourselves in a very comfortable place. And look around. Welcome back to your home, everybody. I hope today you see these walls and you appreciate these walls around you. I hope that you get outside and you get to watch how spring is blooming all around us. And I hope that you can find moments to tap in as closely as you can with Mother Earth, with your hands, with your feet, with your whole body, to see if you can feel her heart beating too. Because she's having a big exhale right now. Everyone, please bring your hands to your hearts, and we will finish our class as we do every time as the remembering of how special and unique this heart is, your heart is, and all the hearts around you, all the earth creatures' hearts around you. And we honor this space by both our words and our thoughts and our actions, right? So here we go. Let's say it all together. Kind hearts, kind words, kind thoughts. Kind hearts, kind words, kind thoughts. Last time. Let's make this be our promise. Until we see each other again next week, Monday morning, we'll do it all again. Let's do our promise let's do our best and promise to share our kindness from our hearts, our words, and our thoughts with all of the creatures around us. Ready? Kind hearts, kind words, kind thoughts. The best in me honors the best in all of you. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for joining me today, and I love you, and you're doing an excellent job, and keep on keeping on, friends, and stay interested in everything that's happening and observe it all, because what a cool, interesting, wild moment in our history. So eyes open, hearts open, and share yourself with the world. I love you all. Bye.